Oh, we just got to start this today. Happy Monday, everybody. I'm just going to be candid with you. You know, the beauty, I say beauty, but what I really mean is the challenge of these lives that I'm doing for you every day now. I don't even want to see anyone join because I'm so in my head right now and in my heart right now. I'm not sure if I look down or I look away from the camera, it's because I'm literally a little emotional. And so if I see your names up there or you say anything nice or kind, I'm probably just going to lose it and get really emotional. I'm going to really work hard to try to not do that right now. But I will wave at all of you as you join, and I'm so thankful for that. But I'm in a space. Doing these lives every day means that I'm meeting whoever needs the message today where you are. And fortunately or unfortunately, you're meeting me where I am today. And so, like I said, if I get emotional, just forgive me, but I'm in a space. I've been sitting here for like 45 minutes, not hitting the go live button. And so the accountability of my commitment to all of you to do these lives every day in August is pushing me to a place that I know is exactly where I need to go as a person. Anyway, I hope you get some benefit from it, but bear with me. If I'm scattered for a while, just bear with me. But here's today. So today for me, happy Monday. It's a great day. This is going to be an epic day. It's been very busy. And I hope when you join, you're going to need to watch the playback so that you can hear my advance apology about being super emotional right now. Please watch that. If I'm scattered, just forgive me. And if I look down, again, the biggest thing I want everybody to know, if you join and I don't say hi to you, it's just because literally if I see one of you that I just love, I'm gonna lose it. See, it's happening. Oh, I need to not see y'all live. I hope, isn't everybody at lunch? Don't you have things to do? It's Monday morning. I had so hoped that somehow I could manage to honor my commitment to do this live today and no one would join. That's really awful. But anyway, I'm going to try to get through this, but it's just emotional. There's a lot going on. So where I am today is that I am seeing this barrage of lots of people I worked with over the last 30 years. And as many of you know, I worked for Marriott International for 20 years, and many of them are leaving the company. So it's one after the other, 25 years, 30 years, people that work with a company 35 years, 40 years. It's just a lot. And as I was reading those this morning and responding to some people on LinkedIn, the message for today that I needed to do live, that I know it's on my heart, so I just need to do it, whether I feel like I could say it without having a complete emotional meltdown or not. It's the one I'm called to talk about today. And it's a good one. It's so important, and I want to do it justice. So I'm going to give it a shot. But if my rambling bores you, just hang up and then just watch the video back, and you can fast forward through spots that don't mean anything to you. Oh, look, my battery's about to die. That would be tragic if my phone died at this particular juncture. Anyway, let me try to get through this before that happens. But if you know anything about, shut up, Kara, don't say anything. See, I told you, Kara, don't stop, don't talk to me, because then I'm going to have a meltdown. I won't be able to get through this. And it's ridiculous because it shouldn't be sad. It's not sad. It's actually incredible. I'm overwhelmed with emotions of gratitude right now. I'm also overwhelmed with this topic because I feel like if I could do this any kind of justice, that there would be one of you that really need to hear this. But it's very difficult to talk about things like this when you're living it yourself. But as promised, I am meeting you where I am. I'm meeting you today where I am. Tomorrow it'll be all about you. Today it's maybe a little bit about me. But one of the greatest gifts that Marriott International gave me was that it put me in an environment that rewarded people for completely disrupting themselves. Have you ever heard that term? There's a term, Professor Clayton Christensen from Harvard Business School coined this term called disruptive innovation. Okay, whew, good. Kim, get in a groove and talk about like real stuff. What the study is called disruptive innovation, and to just to simplify it, I guess, is think about Blockbuster Video. Blockbuster, obviously, VCR tapes. If you're young and you're watching this, you don't know what I'm talking about. But then let's say Netflix. Netflix was the disruptive innovation that put Blockbuster out of business, right? Polaroid cameras. You know, back then it was Instamatic, they pop out. Now we all take pictures on our smartphone. Thank you so much for those hearts. Just keep sending the hearts. Maybe I'll get better at speaking. Now we take phones on our smartphone, right? So completely made Polaroid obsolete. Not really, because they're kind of cool and sexy and you can get them in different colors now. But point being is that disruptive innovation was that term and that concept coined by Professor Christensen that said there's kind of a low end product that then gets replaced by a higher end one. And when that happens, the new concept has like at least 6 times higher levels of success with that, 20 times greater revenue streams from it. Disruptive innovation. You completely disrupt something, and then there's this innovation. Are y'all beginning to feel where I'm going with this? I remember when I took the job with Marriott out of college, I went into HR. I'd got my degree in HR, and you know, $6 an hour, wasn't making much money, but it was my dream job, and it was Monday through Friday, 8 to 5, and I loved it. 6 months into it, I find out that in order to be a director of human resources, I have to leave my comfort zone and completely do something different that I've never heard of, and I decided to go into food and beverage because that was open then. It was at 4500 Marriott Drive, Raleigh, North Carolina, 27612. Do any of you remember the address of your first job? Yeah, I do. I can't remember what I had for lunch yesterday, but I remember my first address. I think I wrote it on envelopes back then because nothing was printed. But the point is, I went into the bar world and I was managing a sports bar. And so suddenly then now my hours are, my days are Tuesday through Saturday. I go in at 1 in the afternoon and I'm working until 2 a.m. I'd spend a lot of time on one side of the bar, but never behind the bar myself. So you get what I'm saying? That was the first time that I disrupted myself in order to reach a gain or achieve something new. I would then go on to disrupt myself multiple times. I never thought I'd leave North Carolina. But because there was a task force opportunity, I moved and then never got home. 3 months, just kept going. I'm a little country girl from Podunkville, North Carolina, and I moved to Manhattan in the big city, and I sound like this and talk like this, and I say hi to everybody on the street, and people thought I was crazy. Point is that throughout our lives, we make educated decisions, empowered decisions to disrupt ourselves, to achieve some new level that we want to get to. God bless y'all for these hearts. I love y'all so much for that. Thank you. We do it on purpose, and with intention, typically, right? I want to suggest today that this virus, this thing that is causing so many changes and shifts and disruptions in people's lives significantly, it just wasn't our choice. However, it may be the catalyst that we all needed to succeed and go to some higher level. Okay, you're feeling that? I just want to suggest that we perceive things differently. That Marriott environment gave me the opportunity to change my very perception of myself, what I could do, what I was capable of. My boss one day turned around on the jet bridge, walking to my first professional business trip flight. She turned around and handed me her first class seat ticket and took my coach ticket. You know, I can't talk about that without crying. The point is that she completely, in that second, in that unselfish gesture, she completely disrupted my feelings about myself and my possibilities. She thought I was first class. What? That had never crossed my mind that I'd ever sit in that first class section. I was disrupted in that moment. There's so many of you, so many of us, myself included. This virus has disrupted us. I want you to see it as potentially, what if, just like in business, this is the opportunity to multiply our levels of success exponentially, to multiply our levels of income and financial gain exponentially, up-level the amount of impact we can have on other people and their lives. What if? There's all exponential growth out of this thing, and what's keeping us stuck in it is that we didn't choose it. It wasn't my choice. It wasn't in my control. It was out of my control. I'm not sure. I'd love to hear your thoughts on this. I can't wait to hear your comments, and I'm just checking my battery because, boy, this is not one. My battery internally is so fueled up right now. Phone don't break. Let me give you 5 tips. As I started thinking of this today, I just sat here. I was supposed to be somewhere else, but I couldn't stop writing feverishly. Let me think of 5 things that helped me embrace this disruption when I didn't think I could do it, but then it absolutely, without a doubt, without question, led to where I was supposed to be. I just didn't see it in that time. The first one, got a pen? Everybody get your pen. Get a highlighter. Look, I had to have 3 colored pens to even plan for this conversation, and then I'm a mess. Number 1, assess where you are and where you want to be. You have to do that. You have to know where you are, and you have to be able to distinctively say, where is it that I want to be? Not the job you want to be in, but other things. Think bigger. What level do you want to be in? What do you want your days to look like? What do you want your life to feel like? Go big or go home. Like, it's time to put the pom-poms down and get on the field. Let's start playing. Okay, so assess where you are. To do that, in order to get to that place where you want to go, you've got to play to your distinctive strengths. So that's step number 1. You cannot possibly play to your distinctive strengths if you don't know what they are. Okay, so that's a to-do list. If you don't know what they are, you got to figure that out. Assess where you are and where you want to go. That's number 1. Number 2, recognize that this whole disruption, innovation, like the professor talked about, it is all about discovery. Something like 90% of successful businesses, the strategy that they started with, that they thought was their whole foundation of their success, and what ultimately led them to be successful, is not that original strategy. You hear that? You feel that? They proved that. Columbia University proved that 90% of businesses that were ultimately successful had to abandon their initial strategy and adopt a brand new one that was completely unexpected. And it came from a process of creativity, of discovery, of being open-minded. I want you to abandon fear and uncertainty right now and replace that with curiosity, creativity. Really think outside the box. If you have a friend that does this with you, phone them, call them up, do it. Call me. I never get tired of just thinking about possibilities. So that's number 2. Recognize it's a discovery process. Stop being afraid and just get curious. Number 3, embrace constraints. There are limitations on all of us. Embrace constraints. I would like to think of constraints as boundaries that we don't have to create ourselves. How many of you have trouble creating boundaries? You've heard you need to set boundaries. Yeah, I struggle with it. So, hey, the constraints now in this world I'm operating in, guess what? They're built-in boundaries. They are simply things that I need to recognize. They're realities I can't do anything about. And I, guess what, need to be more creative to figure out how to accomplish what I want to accomplish within those boundaries, right? My whole well-being for the last 10 years was based on doing live events, hugging, kissing, shaking hands, just loving on teams in person. Well, suddenly that's obsolete. Now what? Right? Embrace the constraints and operate within them. It's okay. It's not going to kill us. Number 4, you got to be patient for a lot of things right now, right? But I want you to be impatient about finding small wins. Get quick, small wins. Things will turn around, and you have to be patient for that, for them to ultimately prove to be that fruitful thing and get to the other side. But just look for small wins each day. And that leads me to number 5. And more important than ever, start. Take 1 step forward today. Just start today. Procrastination, oh God, write this down. Procrastination is a form of perfectionism. You're not lazy. You haven't lost all your initiative. All right. You're probably a trapped perfectionist in the midst of a highly imperfect, highly chaotic, highly uncertain world right now. Just start today and do one little thing. Go for practice. Go for forward motion. Go for different. Don't go for perfection. Okay. And actually, now that I've thought about it, I want you to add, here's a bonus one. If you do those 5, great. Here's extra credit. Battle your thoughts of entitlement and victimhood if you're having those. I hope you're not. That's why this is extra credit, and probably why I just thought of it right now, because most of the people that I interact with, they do not possess a victim mentality. They do not possess this thought of, oh, woe is me. It's everybody against me. Everybody has an easier time than I do. They don't even have that. However, if entitlement thoughts are creeping in, if victim thoughts are creeping into your head for maybe the first time in your life, because this challenge we're facing is so unbelievable. How many of you spent days being unproductive because you can't even get your head around the fact that this is real, that I really have to put on a mask to go get my nails done? You know, anyway, you get what I'm saying. Perhaps some of you are feeling a victim thought process or mentality for the first time in your life, and that doesn't feel right. And then guess what that does to us high achievers? The gerbil in the wheel, procrastination. That's our stinking thinking. So battle those thoughts of entitlement that, oh, I got so far and then this just pulled the rug out from under me. Hey, this could be the greatest thing that ever happened to you. It could be the best thing that ever happened to me. Thank you all. Thank you. I'll see you tomorrow.